non-profit organizations, buat charity work, doesn't matter in what type of charity that you are doing. Sama ada charity work, religion-based, humanitarian, human rights, social, welfare, sports, or youth. I think in any type of works, it warrants dedications. And you guys are people who dedicate your time, your efforts, your energy to something that you believe. So it is an honor to be able to talk to all of you. But we are all human, and as human, there's always kalau dalam bahasa Melayu je nafsu. So kita ni semua subject kepada sometimes what we term as wants, benda yang kita nak, bukan benda yang kita perlukan. So we all have that, I think, as human. And without moral compass, sometimes we go astray. Kita salah jalan. So that happens. So similar, the way I look at it, similarly to an organization. Organization is set up with certain purpose. Bank negara bila establish ada purpose-nya. Similarly to all organization of the panelists here, ada purpose-nya. We have makna, mercy, Aman Palestine, Tone. So they will share also what is the best practice that they do. We all organize ourselves as a group for certain purpose. Tapi within us, let's say 15 of us decide to set up something. One or two mungkin ada yang deviate, lari daripada perjuangan, lupa pada perjuangan. Kita mula-mula set up sebab kita nak buat, katalah, bantu pemuda kat kampung. But along the way kita dapat grant daripada government, katalah 500,000. Ada 500,000, budak-budak kampung ni cuma perlukan 200,000. So 300,000 lagi bayar gaji kita orang lah. So things may start to become bad bila kita lupa jalan perjuangan kita. Tak tahu lah, how many of you heard about City Harvest Church scandal in Singapore? I think kalau tak pernah dengar lagi, bila balik try Google City Harvest Church scandal, of which a pastor in that church yang start that church, along the way he siphoned out $40 million. And this $40 million is used to finance wife dia yang nak jadi artis, so that the wife can go to US, market herself to be an artist. The best part is, lepas dia kena tangkap, the video of the wife menyanyi become one of the most hit videos in YouTube. Before that, tak. So actually, by Singapore authority tangkap the husband, the wife become popular as well. So he does achieve what he wants to achieve. But these are things that you start in the right path. You want to bring people to the religion, but along the way you forget the purpose. Sebab benda-benda lain yang berada di keliling kita. So dia doesn't matter, dia jadi pada orang yang beragama, dia jadi pada orang yang tak beragama, dia jadi pada orang biasa, dia boleh jadi pada ustaz. But these are moral compass that we must have, I think. I think benda ni apply to all. Doesn't matter we are as parents, we are as organisation, we are as NPOs, it applies to all. The moral compass is important. I'm pretty sure pagi ni Cik Azno and petang ni probably my colleague Dr. Sarah will share with you pasal Financial Action Task Force. And in short it called FATF. FATF 40 recommendations. FATF ni an international body set up by G20, group of 20 countries, but membership cut across all part of the world. They come up with 40 recommendations. One of the recommendation 8, specifically on NPOs, on non-profit organization. And basically they conduct studies on how NPOs can be misused or abused. That's the words that the terms that they use. So from vulnerabilities perspective, I think I just want to mention a few things. Satu, you can be the complicit. Maksudnya, the whole NPOs as a group decide I'm going to support criminal activities. Doesn't matter lah, money laundering, terrorism financing, fraudulent, cheating. So that's one. The NPOs itself become complicit. Kalau NPO itself become complicit, then susah lah, because that's when bila you supposed to submit return to ROS ke SSM, the return tu pun will be manipulated. It's not real return that is submitted. But the other part, the vulnerabilities, is when one or two of your people feel that I need to support this cause, ataupun I want to commit crime, or I want to support some people, or in the case of Harvard City Church, I want to support my wife to become artist. So then it become misuse. In terms of usage, there will be, I think, maybe a C, for example, that operates not only in Malaysia but also assisting a lot of calamities outside the world, outside Malaysia. You will have the capabilities to, for example, move funds across. Contoh, katalah macam what happened what happened in Philippines recently, the last 2 days. I don't think any bank is operating in that area anymore at the moment. So kalau misalnya you nak bawa duit, you have to carry cash in order to assist the public there. But at the same time, carrying cash there can also be used for other purpose instead of. So kalau misalnya you become a bad thing to criminals, criminal nak transfer duit daripada Malaysia ke Philippines, you boleh tolong bawa duit tu. That is possible. That's why it's important for NPO to have a proper records and proper usage. What is actually that money used for? Sebab kalau tak, then the record that you have for genuine and the record that you have for non-genuine may mix up, and that's when you as office bearer may not know what actually going on within your organization. That's some of the vulnerabilities. The other things that I would like to mention is operating in insecure conflict area, affected area. There's always issues. I think in the session just now somebody raised pasal terrorists. There's always issues that on one side of the hand the person is being seen as terrorist, on the other side of the hand the person is being seen as freedom fighter. So my way of looking at it is, as long as you kill any innocent public, you are no longer a freedom fighter, you are a terrorist. Doesn't matter which side you are. That's my personal view of it. But in terms of country, there's a mechanism for the country to actually list terrorists. I think that there are mechanisms for countries to list terrorists. So if you are supporting this person from the country perspective, then it becomes an issue. Then you may be charged for supporting that activities. One last point that I want to raise is If you go to banks now, or to any financial institution, insurance companies, stockbroking firms, when you want to do, they will conduct what they call CDD. One last point. So CDD is conducted during the establishment of relationship, and ongoing due diligence is required throughout the relationship between customer and the financial institutions. Similarly, for NPOs, you need to do some due diligence to ensure that you are not misused or abused by someone that you thought you know to facilitate crimes. With that notion, I would like to end my short introductory remark and looking forward to a fruitful discussion in this session. I would like now to pass the session to the moderator. Thank you.
Rahman, I'm afraid I also have difficulty pronouncing this word. I need to see it. Vulnerabilities, and somehow it gets twisted in my tongue. Yeah, I think this is interesting. Yeah, we are all NPOs. We are talking about, on one hand, you are the potential third sector, a high contributor for our GDP. But on the other hand, we have a lot of vulnerabilities, yeah, challenges, as mentioned, yeah, here. And what we want to discuss today, yeah, because I think some NPOs have not even heard of the term FEDF as such. They may not even know there is such thing as recommendation A, yeah, specific requirement for non-profit organization. Nevertheless, yeah, we do have a lot of good practices among our NPO, and I think with us today we have invited, yeah, a few. Let me just introduce, yeah. On my very right, on your left, yeah, on your left, on my very right is Ms. Encik Bemana Apana from Makna. He is the Deputy General Manager. And then next to me, the beautiful lady is from Mercy Malaysia, Yang Mulia Raja Riza Shazmin Raja Badul Shah. She's okay, Setia Usaha Kehormat, yeah. And I think a big clap, the Mercy Malaysia just won an award, yeah, last night. That says something, yeah. And then on my left, on your right, yeah, Encik Awang Sufian Awang Piut from Aman Palestine, yeah, CEO. And then on my very left is Mr. Jaya, a financial controller from Tun Hussein on National Eyes Hospital. So our panelists today, okay, will be discussing or maybe highlighting about how they manage the word again, vulnerabilities. Yeah, I think maybe I just say the word V. Yeah? How you manage V from NPO. So maybe I think maybe you have best practices, you do not know FEDF, but you have done your own things. Yeah, maybe you can highlight that. I think Rahman mentioned things like personal, what we call it, greed. Yeah, among the V's. Yeah, change of the objective. Suddenly your spouse wants to become a singer, so need money, manipulation of return, personal use. So we also have some of our panelists who are also operating overseas. You also have some other perception things that you need to worry. Especially for Awang, you are operating also in conflict area. There's a perception on terrorism financing. How do you manage all these things? So we actually have option for our panelists, whether they want to present using slide or they can just sit and talk from their seat. So that is really up to you. But you have 15 minutes, yeah, nevertheless, you have 15 minutes, and then you come back here, and then we want to dedicate the rest of the time for Q&A. So be ready, because they are here, you ask questions, yeah, because if you don't ask questions, we are not going down for lunch. Thank you. Okay, can we start with you? You want to use this one?
Good morning, Professor Dr. Norma, fellow panelists and the guests. What I would be presenting today would be self-governance procedures and practices that Magna practice. I just would like to give an overview of the standards that we are adhering to and how we do how we monitor how much fund is used for the services. I don't know whether all the other NPOs are going to agree with me. We quite don't have a procedure to follow on how much funds, when we collect 1 ringgit, where does it go? How much is used for administration and the services? So what we do is we adhere to international standard, which is governed by Councils of Better Business Bureau. So what they do is, this alliance helps donors make informed giving decisions and promotes high standards of conduct among organizations that solicit contributions from the public. So there is a complimentary, you can go to this website and find out how this thing works. What is their mission? So we just try to merge our mission on helping people and being transparent, and trust is the issue, and a donor would like to know how transparent the NPO is, and that encourages them to give monthly. So BBB's mission, their mission is to be the leader in advancing marketplace trust, accomplishes this mission by creating a community of trustworthy business, setting standards for marketplace trust, encouraging and supporting best practice, celebrating marketplace role models, and denouncing substandard marketplace. So the governance and oversight, the governing board has the ultimate oversight authority for any charitable organization. This section of Standard 6 to ensure that the volunteer board is active, independent and free of self-dealing. So people who are coming to the organization would like to give money, and they know that this organization follows certain standards, and that creates trust for people to give. And that in return, of course, creates better trust. And this, to meet these standards, the organization shall follow basic rules on financing, which the finance section of the standards seeks to ensure that the charity spends its funds honestly, prudently, and in accordance with statements made in fundraising appeals. To meet these standards, the charitable organization shall have these 2 standards, which we are complying to. Spend at least 65% of its expense on program activities formulated. So the formula is the total program service expense over the total program service expense should be at least 65% of what you spend. The service to the community has to be 65%. So the 35% is where we administer and use, because we do have staff. We have to pay staff who's working for this cause. And we should spend not more than 35%, as I said, of related contribution of fundraising. So what we do is, because of the trust again, going back to the community, they would like to know how transparent your company is. So this is where we comply to BBB Wise Giving Standards, which is based in US, but they do operate from Hong Kong as well. So this shows that, we are making comparisons between other countries and how it's been operated, so that there are standards being followed. And we do submit our financial reports updates to Our auditor, of course, audits it. The PricewaterhouseCoopers does the audit, so we are very transparent, and there is trust because a big audit firm is auditing the firm, the organization. We submit annual financial reports to ROS. ROS, I think they are receiving our statement, I'm sure. Annual finance report to Lembaga Hasil Dalam Negeri and also to the Ministry of Finance. So this is made transparent, and this is what gives credibility to the donor to continuously give to the charity. And I would like to share the findings which came out in New Straits Times in January 2006, where ROS to make fundraising more accountable. I'm actually very happy to be in this session here because we are doing something about it, and attention need to be given because there are many charities out there, and many are coming house to house and soliciting funds, and how trustworthy is the organization and why they should give. So this is what earlier was mentioned, that some of the standards need to be renewed, which ROS is looking at it and working on that. So there are some guidelines of fundraising, but here what I see is for donations exceeding 1,000 ringgit, official receipts should be issued within 3 days, which is pointer A. And pointer 9 says, let me go back, there was one that, I think I'm missing probably. Okay, so what I would like to share with us today is just bringing out the self-governance of what the charity does and what are we doing about it. But I do have 2 questions, but I think I'll just put it now so that it will be thought for us during our discussion later when we have Q&A. So when Dr. Norma presented, I had this question, Doctor. How and what is NPO's contribution? How and what is the NPO's contribution made known? How significant is